Continue on in set theory, and we're going to look at survey problems. So as we're looking at survey problems, we're going to have to use Venn diagrams to be able to do that. So if I want to name a Venn diagram, we're going to use set notation to name the regions of a Venn diagram. So I have all my items in group A, all of my items in group B. I have some section that overlaps, so I have something that belongs to A and B. And then I have some things that are outside of those groupings. And so when I'm looking at those pieces of information, I want to be able to start naming the regions if I add a third set in. So if I add a third set in, now I have A and C's overlap, A, B, and C's overlap here, and then B and C's overlap. So I'm adding more complexity into my Venn diagrams. So if I look at R2, that would be information that only belongs to set A. And if I look at R4, that would be only things that belong to set B. And then the same is true for R8, which being things that belong with group C. In survey problems, we're not actually taking a survey. We're collecting and organizing data into groups. That's all we're doing, is we're grouping things together. So here's an example. I'm doing information on TV viewers. I want to know, what are you watching? And so the following information was obtained. 3 people watch reality shows. 14 watch TV early. 21 have reality shows. 8 people watch on weekdays. And so I have all this information in A through H that I've gathered. Well, now I need to group them together, and what makes sense is that we have 3 subgroups. So if I look at all these people, I have something with reality TV, I have something with watching TV early, and something with watching them on weekdays. And so those are the 3 groups that I'm going to join them into. Then I'm going to take my Venn diagram, and I'm going to say, well, how many people are watching early on the weekend? That goes in the overlap of early and weekend. How many people are watching reality TV early on the weekend? That would be 3, because that's where all 3 circles overlap. Then I have 5 people who watch on the weekend reality TV, but it's not early. And then I have 18 people lingering that watch early reality TV. And then finally, I can fill in the rest with members who are only in one group and not multiple groups. Now, here's the thing, guys. You can't add up everything in a circle and be like, ta-da, I got everything. You're going to have to do some arithmetic to find the number of people. So if you really focus in on the region, so how many people are early weekday watchers, that's 11. So I need to make sure I do that piece. And then here, if I have no reality shows, I can add up everybody who's not in the R circle, and I have 40 that watch that. So I'm checking my answer. 40 is correct. Yep, keep going. Prefer TV on the weekend? 49. Here's another example. I'm going to take this information and I'm going to apply it to a Venn diagram. I have multiple groupings. This looks like just 2, Spotify and iHeartRadio. And I'm going to draw those circles. And if I look here, right now I have 104 use both. So when I say 478 use Spotify and 567 only use one of the services, then I'm getting to an understanding. But there are people in both groups. So when I say 478 use Spotify, I have 100 people using both. So I'm going to have to do some arithmetic. I'm going to have to take that 104 and that 478 and subtract. So I'm going to do 478 minus 104, and that's going to give me my 374 Spotify users. For iHeartRadio, I'm going to take the 478, subtract the 104 that use both, and there's my just iHeartRadio. And then last, I'm going to figure out the total number of people. And so I check my math, 212 plus 374, and that is 586 people that only use one service. So I'm checking my math there. Here's another example with media users. If I have media users and a media company and they're producing multiple things, I have to first figure out, well, I've got 3 categories, and I'm going to copy all the information down into this table because it doesn't feel like a Venn diagram is going to be helpful with that information. They're giving me this table database. So this is what I'm being given. And I need to find out what is not in group A. So here's group A. What is the number of things not in group A? So that would be my things that are not a part of group A. I would do my 63 plus 22 because those are not in group A, and that's 85. And then if I want M intersect D, that would be the number of items in M, the number of items in D, minus the ones in common. That's coming from the previous lecture video where we talked about how to do cardinality of an intersection, and that gives you 100.